Namaste. Welcome to the sixth edition of the Global Festival of Oneness celebrating the life and works of Adi Shankara. My name is Anuradha and I'm the host of this session. Let us start with a prayer. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. We're very pleased to have with us once again Swamini Sadvidyananda, who is giving an online ongoing session on Manisha Panchakam. For those of you who joined for the first time, I'd like to introduce the speaker. Swamini is a disciple of Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati, and she has been teaching Bhagavad Gita Upanishads in Gujarati in various towns of Gujarat. Under her trust, Arshavidya Tirtha Navasari, she's translated and published more than 37 books of Pujya Swamiji Dayananda, including the masterpiece Bhagavad Gita Home Study. She has also attended and presented papers in various conferences such as the National Education Conference in Pune and Gwalior, Sri Vidya International Conference in Mysore, Namami Shankar Bhashya Parayanam, Kanyakumari, and Vedanta Conference in Rishikesh. Welcome, Swaminiji.
Hari Om, Namaste. Om Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Om Shahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Vidyan Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaran Loka Shankaram Shankaran Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Manisha Panchakam. There are 5 verses are there. 3 verses we already saw. Now this is the 4th verse. So the Tikkakar is introducing Samprati Ayamatma Brahma iti Atharvana Shakha Upanishad Gata Mahavakyasya Arthamaha. So in 4th verse, Adi Shankaracharya is giving the meaning of the 4th Atharvana Veda Mahavakya, Upanishad Mahavakya. It's called Ayamatma Brahma. So very beautifully Shankaracharya is explaining in this verse what is the anubhuti, what is the recognition of the wise person, what is the vision of wise person. Though we say this world doesn't exist, we saw that when we say pot is, the isness of the pot is because of the clay. So therefore, pot is clay when we say, though we are experiencing the pot, we say there is no pot. There is only mruttiketteva satyam. But as we saw last time, prarabdhaya samarpitam swavapuhu. The wise person has surrendered its own body, mind, sense complex to the prarabdha. Now when it is called Jivan Mukti. So what is the Jivan Mukti? So Jivan Mukti is being explained in this verse. While living in this body and going through the prarabdha, what is the vision of wise person, Gnani? Understand? Living in this verse, transacting in this world, he has this vision of oneness. And therefore, very beautifully, Shankaracharya is giving us the vision of the Jivan Mukta. Ayamatma Brahma, when this Vakya when say, Ayam means the Aparoksha Atma. This Aparoksha Atma is Brahman. And the Brahman is the entire Jagat. Because it is a Abhinna Nimit Upadan Karana of this Jagat. And therefore entire Jagat is Sarvam Khaluidam Brahma. Whatever here is one non-dual Brahma only. And that Brahman is me, I am. Atma means I am. So, very beautifully Shankaracharya gives this vision of the Jivan Mukti. We'll read the verse. Yatiryagnar devatabhihi ahamatyanta sfuta gruhyate. Yatiryagnar devatabhihi ahamityanta sfuta gruhyate. Yadvasaradyaksha deha vishaya. Yadvasaradyaksha deha vishaya. Bhanti swato chetanaha. Bhanti swato chetanaha. Tam bhasye pihitarka mandala nibham. तां भासैः पिहितादर्क अर्कमण्डलनिभां स्फूर्तिं सदा भावयन् योगो निर्वृतमानसो हि गुरुरित्येष मनीषा मम योगी निर्वृतमानसो हि गुरुरित्येष मनीषा मम योगी निर्वृतमानसः योगी. Here yogi means not the person who is doing yogasana or who is doing in samadhi. Yogi means the jivan mukta. Yogi means who has gained this vision of oneness. And that yogi is looking at himself what way? Ahamiti atyanta sfuta grihyate. So very nicely. Ya tiryang naradevata vihi sfurtim. Sfuta. The Sfurtim, we hear in this Manisha Panchakam, Atma is referred as a feminine, understand? Strilinga. Previously we saw Samvita. Samvit also is a Strilinga Shabda. Here also Sfurtim. Sfurtim means that which is a self-evident, self-existence consciousness is called Sfurtim. And because the Sfurti word is Strilinga, and therefore here says Ya Sfurtim, that consciousness, which is what? Tiryang Nara Devata Vihi Ahamiti. The person who is seeing the self in all these things. What is this? Tiryanga. Tiryang Nara Devata Vihi. Tiryak Vihi Pashu Vihi. Who are Pashu? Understand? Pashyanti natu jananti iti pashuhu. Suppose there is a 500 rupee note is there. And that note, in India, this is very common. Understand? Now we have this online payments and everything. Now any bill, any note, 500 rupees note, it goes through all grocery shops. And so it is all full of this masala. Understand? Now, cow sees this 500 rupees note. What she sees? She smells this, understand? Spices are there. Oil is there. So she smells the food. But she doesn't know. Na jananti, understand? She doesn't know this piece of paper, the value of the piece of the paper is 500 rupees. Understand? Pashyanti. She sees the piece of paper, but she doesn't know the value of the piece of the paper. And therefore, she eats because she thinks this is food. You see, that's why this pashuhu means pashyanti natu jananti. Iti pashavaha. Then they see, but they don't understand. And therefore, pashuhu. Then Shankaracharya used the word tiryang. Tiryang means what? That which are horizontal, understand, not vertical. Human beings are vertical. Tiryang means horizontal. What is that horizontal? Why they are called tiryang? Because the head, stomach, and the reproductive organs. All three, understand? Mastiska, Udara, Jananendriya, all three are in the one line, horizontal. That means their brain, their mind is working only for two things: how to find the food and how to have the bhoga, understand? So, and therefore they are called Tiryang. We human being, naraihi, ab dekhe, manushaihi, ab. Who are nara? Nariyate iti naraha. Nariyate. You are always there. Najayate, mriyate, va kadachit. Nariyate. You are always there. Naraha. Nara means what? It is vertical. Buddhi is important for us, not the food. And therefore, Naraha, Tiryanga, Nara, Devata, Tiryang, Nara, Devata, Vihi, Ahamiti, Atyanta, Sfuta, Grihyate. Passive sentence. Ya Sfurta, Ya Sfurtim, Sfuta, Grihyate. Sfuta means very clearly. Hasta Malakavata. If there is a amla, gooseberry in my hand, very clearly we can see that. Similarly, for the Gnani, for Jivan Mukta, the vision of the oneness of consciousness is very clear. Sfuta. So that consciousness, the Sfurti, is being understood. Grihyate. Grihyate means don't understand. Physically, the person is going to see it. Grihute means he sees. He sees through and through. When you see the ghata, you see the clay. Understand? When you see the ornaments, you see the gold. It's not that you have to make an effort to see the gold, because without seeing the gold, you cannot see the ornament. Without seeing the clay, you cannot see the pot. Without seeing the water, you cannot see the waves. And same way, here also, seeing all these beings, understand? Pashu, Nara, Devata. Then why Shankaracharya is giving these three, understand? Tiryang means it is a tamasika upadhi. Tiryang means it is a tamasika upadhi, lowly, understand? Adho yoni, what we call. Then Nara, Madhyama, Rajasika upadhi, and Devata, which is a Satvika upadhi. In Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan gives the same thing. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Shwapake Cha Panditaha Samadarshina. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane, when we say, that Brahmana is a Satvika Upadhi, most exalted Upadhi, understand? Gavi Hastini, in the cow and in the elephant. That is the Rajasika Upadhi. Shuni, in the dog, and Shwapake, the person who is eating the dog meat, is called Chandal. So, in this Tamasik Upadhi, Rajasik Upadhi, Satvik Upadhi. Same way, here Shankaracharya gives Tiryang Nara Devata Bihi. The person through and through this, understand? Tiryang Bihi, Naraihi, Manushaihi, Devata Bihi, Devataishcha, Ahamiti. Ahamiti Pratyaya Vyahvari Yogyataya Antaha. Antasfuta. Antaha means what? Vignanmaya Shabdavachayam Buddho Sfutam. He sees this Chaitanya, this consciousness, through and through all this. Understand? But how he sees? Antaha Buddho. through the eyes you cannot see the consciousness, because consciousness is one which is behind the eyes. Telescope can see, through the telescope you can see that which is in front of the telescope. But through the telescope you cannot see the seer who is seeing through the telescope. Similarly, you are that consciousness who is behind the eyes. Therefore, in Kenopanishad says, Chakshusas Chakshuhu. Look at this. You are the one who is the consciousness which is a Chakshu of the Chakshu. Eyes of the eyes. Ears of the ears. Mind of the mind. Prana of the prana. And therefore, Shankaracharya says, Antaha sfuta grihyate. Not outside, understand? Antaha buddhau sfutam anavaranam yatha tatha grihyate anubhuyate. This Jivan Mukta yogi, this wise person, sees this through and through. Understand? This third, understand? There is a tiryang bihi. So the third case is there, not by, understand? It's through and through. So through and through every body, every upadhi, he sees this very clearly, that it is a one non-dual consciousness. But that understanding is where? Rida, Buddha. Taittiriya Upanishad also says same thing. Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma Yaveda Nihitam Guhaya. Yaha Veda. The person sees, person knows it. Guhayam, Buddha Guhayam. So therefore, Sfutam very clearly. Why clearly? Anavaranam. There is no more ignorance in his buddhi. There is a removal of the ignorance from his buddhi, and therefore his buddhi is very clearly seeing this consciousness in every jad and chetan, char and achar, every object he is seeing this one consciousness. Understand? Grikhyate. But what is this consciousness? So Shankaracharya said, Yadbhasa Radayaksha Deha Vishayaha Bhanti Swataha Achetanaha. Look at that. Swataha. By themselves, they are Achetanaha, Jad. Though this body, mind, sense complex, Radaya means what? It is a mind. Radaya Manaha. Aksha Akshana. Akshani, Indriyani, Gnana, Karma, Khyani. So, Radaya, mind, Antakarana. Akshani, these Indriyas. And Deha, body. Vishayaha. They are Vishaya, object of your knowledge. Being the object of your knowledge, it is what? Swataha. By themselves, they are Achetana, Jada. Yadrishyam tad jadam. So they are all object of your knowledge. Being the object of the knowledge, they are all inert objects. By themselves, they are inert. Understand? Though they are inert, what is the definition of inert? There are three words are there. I always tell this. There are three words are there. Understand? Jada, Chetana, Chaitanya. Look at this. Jada, Chetana, Chaitanya. We already saw Chaitanya means what? That which is the self-evident, self-effulgent, Swatantra. Swatasthita, Swaprakasha, Swatantra, Chaitanyam. Then what is Jada, inert? That which doesn't know itself, that doesn't know other than itself is called Jada. Doesn't know, understand? When I said this mobile is Jada. Why? Mobile doesn't know I am mobile, understand? And it doesn't know anything else other than mobile. And therefore it's called inert. अपने को भी जानता नहीं है, दूसरों को भी जानता नहीं. Inert. Then what is Chetana? Shankaracharya uses here word, understand, achetanaha, understand. So what is chetana? They are vishayaha, shabdadyaha. They're object of your knowledge. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. Still, this body, this mobile is inert. But this body, though it is inert, it is chetana. What is chetana? And chetana means that which has a capacity to reflect the consciousness. Understand? Why? Swabhavataha jadaha chetanaha api. Though this body, this indriya, this senses, this mind, by nature they are inert. But it looks like it is a conscious. And chetana. Why? Because here only sthula mobile is there. Similarly, this body also made up of the sthula panchamahabhuta, panchikruta panchamahabhuta kruta, understand? But this body has a capacity to hold the sukshma sharira. That's why we say there are three bodies are there. Sthula sharira, gross body is there, sukshma sharira, subtle body is there, and there is a karana body, causal body is there. Understand? So this sthula body, though it is made up of the sthula, gross elements, it has a capacity to hold the subtle body and causal body. And therefore what happens? Our subtle body is made up of the 17 components. 5 karmendriya, 5 gnanendriya, 5 senses are there, organ of actions are there, 5 senses are there, 5 prana, vital forces are there, manaha, buddhihi. So 15 plus 2, 17. All this when we say, these 5 senses and then mind. Mind is made up of the Satvika Panchamahabhuta. Each sense is also is made up of the subtle, Satvika. From the Satvik Akasha, this ears. From the Satvik Vayuhu, this Twagendriya, skin, sense of touch. Same way, from the Satvika fire, these eyes are. From the Satvika water, Jalam, this Rasanendriya, sense of the taste. And same way, from the Satvika Prithvi, this Granendriya, sense of smell is there. Now, their Satvika means what? Being Satvika, Nirmalam, Bhagavan says in Gita, Satvik means what? Nirmalam, Shuddham, Nirmala. Being Nirmala, what happened? The consciousness is being reflected in the mind. That's called reflected consciousness. The reflected consciousness is again reflected in the senses. And therefore, the mind is Chetana because there is a reflection of the consciousness is there. The same reflected consciousness again reflected in the Indriya senses, and therefore all senses also are Chetana. Understand? Now, why this body is Chetana? Because the one sense, and out of these 5 senses, one sense of touch is all pervasive on this body. Being all pervasive in this body, because of that, this body also looks Chetana because the consciousness is being reflected on this Tvagendriya, sense of touch, understand? Therefore, this body also looks Chetana. So that we have to understand that inert object doesn't have the Sukshma Sharira. Subtle body is not there. Whereas in this Sthula Sharira, Deha, there is a Sukshma Sharira, and therefore it looks Chetana. Though this is also consciousness, this is also consciousness, understand? Sfutam very clearly. But this looks like Jada, inert, this looks like conscious. And not consciousness, understand? Chetana. And therefore, though Shankaracharya says, though Hridaya Aksha Deha Vishayaha, they are object of knowledge. All five senses are there. Understand? Five objects. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. All five are there. Here all objects are there. Understand? Those five Vishayas are there. Still, Vishayaha, Shabdadyaha, Vachanadhyascha, Ete Sarve Swataha Swabhavataha Achetanaha, Jadaha, Apiti. So, though they are api, understand, there is no api word, we have to add the api here. Api shabda, we have to add. Though they looks like they are inert, though they are look like conscious, but that consciousness is because of what? Yadvasa, bhanti, because of whose light, because of whose consciousness, all these objects are being seen. And therefore, this is also consciousness. This is also consciousness. Swataha achetana api. Though they by themselves they are achetana, they are inert, bhanti, prakashante. Understand? See, that is why I'm saying antaha sfuta. With your inner eyes, you have to see this. Inner means doesn't understand inside body. It is a vision. And therefore, very clear the person sees that this is also consciousness. This is also consciousness. Those Tiryaga, Pashu, Manushya, all this Devata, they are Chetan. They are also consciousness. This Jada object also is consciousness. Vishayaha, Bhanti. So because of which consciousness all this object is being illumined, all this object is being seen, is that consciousness, understand? Yadbhasa. Ya, understand? Ya means because of which. Yadbhasa, because of which consciousness everything is being seen, everything is being experienced here. Tam bhasyaihi. Because of that consciousness, Spurtim sada bhavayan. This wise person, this Jivan Mukta, sada bhavayan. On this consciousness, this person is bhavayan, meditating all the time. There is not, see, that is why I always tell. Yoga, Patanjali Yoga Sutra, fine. But the way they have defined the samadhi, that samadhi is different than what we call here samadhi. Deha bhimane galite vignate parameshware. Understand? Yatra yatra manoyati tatra tatra samadhaya. This is not that a time that morning I will do 1 hour meditation. 1 hour samadhi and 23 hours transaction. Understand? No. Sada bhavayan. Understand? Day and night constantly he is meditating, he is thinking of this consciousness. Understand? Sada bhavayan. See, that's why it is not something which is special time or special place. Yatra yatra manoyati. We don't need any special time and place for meditation. And therefore, sada, when we say, it is not only time. The place also is there. Everywhere, every time he is meditating, he is clearly, sfuta, very clearly, he is seeing this consciousness everywhere. But still, when he is seeing clearly, Shankaracharya says, Pihita Arkamandala Nibham. Nibham means like. He's giving the simile. Understand? Arkamandala. Arka means Surya, sun. Mandala means the light. The light of the sun, Pihita. Pihita means what? It is covered with the cloud. When this sun is being covered with the cloud, but you are seeing the cloud because of what? See, this is the beauty of this example. In Atma Bodh also, the Shankaracharya gives example. Meghapai Anshumaniva. Understand? Megha, the clouds. The sun is covered with the cloud. Now, this sentence only we have to analyze. Is it possible for cloud to cover the sun? Understand? Though we say, though we experience in this way that cloud has covered the sun, but in reality, the cloud is not covering the sun. Understand? Cloud is covering your eyes. Therefore, we say anavaran. So, our eyes are covered with the cloud, and therefore we don't see the sun. But the beauty of this example is, though the light of the sun is covered with the cloud, what? The cloud is seen because of the sunlight. Understand? You are seeing this cloud because of what? Sunlight. Not only that, the cloud is there. The cloud is born up because of what? Because of the sunlight, the water is evaporated, and then that water becomes, that evaporated water is a cloud. The cloud is there above, is there because of the sunlight, because of the heat of the sunlight, it's there. Not only that, it moves. Why? Because the air is hot. That hot air makes this cloud move from one place to another place. Understand? So born of the sun, sustained by the sun, moved by the sun, understand? And seen because of the sunlight. That cloud looks like as though covering the sun. In Gujarat, we have nice bhajan is there. So, it's very beautiful bhajan. Tarana othe dungar re, dungar koi na dite. Tarana means the grass blade, the dry grass blade is called truna. In Sanskrit we call truna, and then in Upper Brahmsa it becomes taranu. Now, this small blade of grass, very thin, and though it is small, the person doesn't see the huge mountain, dungar. Why? Because this, we don't need even the blade of grass, understand? This finger is enough. If you put the finger in front of your eyes, you don't see this huge mountain. And same way, this small cloud is covering your eyes, and therefore you don't see the sun. Same thing Shankaracharya says. ताम भाष्यैः पिहित अर्क mandala nibham spurtim sada bhavayan. Though this consciousness is as though covered, understand, as the sun is being covered by the cloud, same way this consciousness is as though covered, understand, as though covered by this body mind sense complex, as though covered by this object nama rupa. Object means name and forms, understand, because our mind is stopped at the name and forms, nama rupa. We don't see through and through. See, there is a very nice example. Whenever in Bharat, whenever we have this marriage of the girls in the family, these parents want to offer, understand, gift some gold ornaments to this girl. Now, these parents, when they decide, we want to give some. Now, according to their own financial condition, they decide how many grams of gold they want to give. Understand? So, in their mind, it is a gold what they want to give to this girl or to the son-in-law. And therefore, they tell girls, okay, let's go to this jewelry shop and whatever ornaments or whatever you want, you can buy. Now, look at this. Now, when they go there, and when this shop person is told that there is a marriage of this girl and we would like to buy some ornaments for this girl. Now, parents wants to give maximum gold they can give. And therefore, in their mind, that amount of gold is there. Now, this girl, she's seeing the ornaments. And there are beautiful ornaments are there. The sets are there. Chain is there, and then earring is there. Bangles are there. And so the shop fellow is showing these nice, beautiful sets. Now, this girl is seeing the shape, forms, and she liked it. No, I like this one. Now, parents will think what? No, this is only 15 grams. This is only 25 grams. You take this 30 grams, understand? So they see what? They see 30 grams. But this girl said, no. Mom, it's okay. This is 30 grams, but I don't like this. I like this one. And girl's mind is occupied with this name and forms. And therefore she says what? No, I want this only. Then mother, no, but this is only 15 grams. No, it's okay, mom. It's 15, but I like this. So when the mind is occupied with the name and forms, you don't see that. Same way here also. Pihita, our mind is covered with this name and forms. Covered means what? Occupied. And we see this name and forms. Tiryanga, Pashu, Manushya, Devata, mountain, trees, birds, river, desert, all name and forms. Different names and forms are there. Our mind is occupied with this name and forms. And therefore, the occupied mind is called covered. Pihita. As the sunlight is being covered because of the cloud, same way, our mind is occupied. That's why I always tell, what is Vairagya? Vairagya means not you are giving up something. And physically giving up is not Vairagya. What is Vairagya? Vairagya means Nadveshti na kankshati. Bhagavan has given very beautiful definition. Nadveshti na kankshati. the person doesn't have any kind of dislike or like for any object. And this is mobile, this is mobile. And there is no like and dislike. This body is body. There is no like and dislike. The one whose mind is free from likes and dislikes is called Vairagya. People think I give up, that is Vairagya. No. Whether you give up or not give up, the problem is what? Your raga dvesha. And therefore, here pihita covered is what? Covered with our raga dvesha. Gnanam avrutya tishtati. In third chapter, Bhagavan says, this kama is what? Gnanam avrutya tishtati. Our desires, our ragadvas, our likes and dislikes are covering the consciousness. It is through and through. It is inside also, antarbahishta tat sarvam. Understand? This body, mind, sense complex also is consciousness. The outside, whatever here also is consciousness. One non-dual consciousness is there. Antarbahishta tat sarvam. But because our mind is occupied with this kama, desire, raga, dvesha, we don't see through and through the consciousness. And therefore, Shankaracharya gives this beautiful example, pihita arka mandala nibham sfurtim. It is there, samashti vyashti. Tam bhasyaihi sada bhavayan. That consciousness and tam. Ya tam, understand this, because this whole consciousness is being said here that is Sfurti, as a Strilinga, therefore it's a tam bhavayan sada. This yogi, this wise person, this Jivan Mukta is seeing through and through. He is meditating all the time. There's no special time. All the time he is meditating on this consciousness. As the sun is being covered, he sees that all this Nam Rupa is covering this consciousness. And therefore, that yogi, what is that? Sfurtim samashti vyashti upadi vishishtam lakshayitva tat shabdena ek anvayena. This is a vyashti. This is an individual body. That same way, there is a total body is there. As there is a sukshma, this gross body is there is a total gross body called virata. This sukshma sharira is an individual sukshma sharira, subtle body called taijasa. There is a total subtle body is called hiranyagarbha. This individual causal body, karan sharira, pragnaha. The total causal body is called ishvaraha. Through and through this upadhi, whether it is an individual body is there, Vishwa, Taijasa, Pragnaha, or there is a total is there, Virat is there, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara. Through and through this upadhi, Vishishtam Lakshayitva, through this upadhi, he is seeing this one non-dual consciousness. Not a, he's seeing means what? Swamiji used to make a jokes. Oh, he's seeing consciousness everywhere. The food also is consciousness. Oh, he's eating consciousness? No. Why? The eater also is conscious. Ahamannam, 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 ahamannadaha, ahamannadaha. Understand? Annam also is me, ahamannam. And the one who is eating the food also is what? Ahamannadaha, ahamannadaha. Understand? What is seen also is aham. Who the seer also is aham. Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Vignata. That is also me. That which is being seen, that which is being heard, that which is being thought about, that which is being known, that is also aham. Drashta, drishya, darshanam. Manta, mananam, mantavyam. Understand? All this is one non-dual consciousness. Drashta also is consciousness, drashya also is consciousness, darshanam also is consciousness. And therefore, from the standpoint of the Jivan Mukta, everything is Vyashti, Samashti, Upadhi, that which is being seen through this one. Eka Anvayena. Anvaya. Anvaya means it is through and through. See, this verse is very important. Why I'm telling you. Generally, when we start Vedanta, this Vedanta, when we start with this Vyatireka. Understand? Not this, neti, 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 understand? But that is not Vedanta. In the beginning, we have to go through a Vyatireka. Anvaya Vyatirekabhyam nishprapancham prapachyate. But Vyatireka is not that. Understand? That Anvaya is required. This is what this verse, this entire verse, this fourth verse is telling us the Anvaya. Understand? It's everywhere. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina. The people, those who do this, Vyatireka, there is nothing mithya, understand? This is one non-dual consciousness. What is mithya? Understand? In the beginning, we say that, but it's not mithya. Ghata is not mithya. Ghata is clay, understand? This jagat is not mithya. This jagat is Brahman, understand? Therefore, beginning we start with mithya. But at the end, we have to see everything is one non-dual consciousness. This is called Anvaya. And that's why this Tikakar said, Eka Anvayena. Understand? Though you start with Vyatireka, but you end with Anvaya. Anvayena. Understand? Yojitatvad. Yojitatvad means he is engaging his mind in this seeing this one non-dual consciousness. Whether it is a Jad, Chetana, whether it is a Devata, it is a Manushya, it is a animals. Anvayena. Okay. What is this seeing consciousness? Yogi Nirvutamanasah. Beautiful, understand? Sat is everything we saw last. Everything is one non-dual Sat. And that Sat is consciousness. And seeing this consciousness is what? Nirvutamanasah. Nirvrut. Nirvrut means Ananda, Sukha. Nirvrut manasah mani moksha sukha yukta manasah hi prasiddham yaha. There is a joy, there is an ananda. Don't translate this sukham as a bliss, understand? Because in Christianity, this bliss is the heavenly enjoyment is called bliss, understand? We are not talking about heavenly enjoyments. Heavenly enjoyments also are what? For us, they are not eternal. Understand? They are temporary. Gita Bhagavan says, Te tam bhuktva swarga lokam vishalam kshine punya martya lokam vishanti. Understand? That is temporary. Bliss means is a temporary happiness. We are not talking about temporary happiness. We are talking about Sukha Swarupa, that is which is your nature. You are Ananda Swarupa. You don't have to become happy. Aham Sukhi, that is the most dangerous word. It's not I am Sukhi, Aham Sukha Swarupa. I am happy is not knowledge. I am happiness. And therefore, the person whose mind is reveling in this moksha sukha, He is Jivan Mukta. And therefore, the whose mind is reveling in this moksha. Why? He is liberated. He is Mukta. Though he is seeing this Nama Rupa, though he is transacting in this Nama Rupa, though he is constantly active in this world, he is reveling in the Swarupa. I am happiness. Once you start reveling in yourself, I am Ananda, you don't need. When Arjun asked Bhagavan, what is the characteristics of this Sthita Prajna? Understand? Only one sentence, which is the real characteristics of Gnani, understand? Jivan Mukta. Atmani eva atmana tushta. One who is happy with oneself. That means what? He is independent. He doesn't need anything else other than the self to be happy. Atmani eva atmana tushta. He is happy with oneself. You don't need anything else because you are Ananda Swarupa. Yastu atmaratireva syad atmatruptascha manavah atmanyeva santushta. This is Jivan Mukti. You don't need any company to be happy. You don't need any object to be happy. You don't need any special condition of the body, special condition of the mind, understand? Special condition of the mind is samadhi, that is yogi, understand? The yoga. We are not talking about that. Any condition of the mind, you are happy. Prakasham cha, pravrittim cha, mohameva cha pandava. Understand? What is gunatita? The characteristic lakshana of gunatita is what? Prakasham cha, pravrittim cha, mohameva cha pandava. Prakasham, satvik vritti is there. Pravrittim, rajasik vritti is there. Mohameva cha, tamasik vritti is there. Nadveshti pravruttani. Understand? In the vritti, what kind of the vritti is arising, there is no dvesha in the mind of the wise person. Nivruttani na kankshati. He doesn't want to get rid of any kind of this thought. Whether it is a sattvika, it is a rajasika, it is a tamasika. Therefore, I am telling, Vedanta Samadhi is different. It's not a particular condition of the mind. Where there is a vritti, sattvika vritti. Why? Because every vritti is born of consciousness. Every vritti is sustained by consciousness. Every vritti is resolved into consciousness. Understand? And therefore, what is this? Nirvritta manasa. He is happy. Why he is happy? Because he himself is a happiness. Therefore, this understanding of Jivan Mukta is what? Understand clearly. When we say vritti is drashya, you are seeing the vritti, understand? So, you are the consciousness who is illumining this vritti, right? You are seeing the vritti. Therefore, you are illumining this vritti. But vritti is born of consciousness. That means what? The adhisthana, the substratum of vritti also is consciousness. Understand? The one who is illuminating the vritti also is consciousness. The one who sustains the vritti also is consciousness. Not only that, there are three things are there. Person who is illuminating is consciousness. One who is sustaining also is consciousness. Not only that, the vritti, in Sanskrit, garbha, understand? The object of vritti also is what? Consciousness, you. Understand? Therefore, when there is a oneness, understand? When there is a oneness of the seer, the sustainer, and object of vritti is one, that is called knowledge. वृत्ति का अधिष्ठान और वृत्ति का दृष्टा और वृत्ति का विषय जब एक है, that is called self knowledge. And there is called nirvrutamana sahayogi. Because he is a yogi, he is a jivan mukta. He sees everywhere one non-dual consciousness, and therefore guru iti esha manisha mama, and therefore I have a very firm conviction in my mind that he is my guru, because he is the one who has a clear understanding of the consciousness, which is one non-dual consciousness, which is Ananda, one who is reveling in oneself. And that person who is reveling in oneself, person who sees through and through everywhere one consciousness, that yogi, that jivan mukta, that wise person is my guru. And here we have to add chandalostu dvijostu, because there is no place for here this word, we have to add whether that guru body is a chandala, that guru body is a dvija, brahmana. I don't care whether that body is what. Understand? Body is a chandala, means is a tamasika body, dvija, which is a sattvika body. I don't care about that. I care about his understanding, his clear vision about the consciousness, and that person is my guru. That is my very firm conviction. That is my clear understanding that that person is called my guru. Om Tat Sat. Next Saturday, we'll see the 5th verse. We'll do the prayer. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyorma Amrutangamaya. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari.
Thank you, Swaminiji, for one more enlightening session on Manisha Panchakam. This week, you highlighted on the aspect of Ananda and what it really means in this particular text. Viewers, we have many such sessions. This evening at India time, 7 p.m., we have the Bhashya Parayana. It's a Bhashya Parayana session today. So please do join and benefit from this. Thank you very much and goodbye.